It's another special edition of USA Basketball on ESPN2 as the United States gets ready to play the final quarterfinal round at the Saitama Super Arena in Saitama City, Japan. A crowd of almost 20,000 gathering to watch this one, and USA fans well represented. Good morning, everyone. With Fran Fraschilla, I'm Jim Durham. Glad to have you with us as the United States takes on Germany, with the winner advancing into the semifinals to join the three other teams that have already qualified. In play yesterday, Argentina and Spain moved on, and in a game earlier today, Greece defeated France by 17. The semifinals on Friday starting at 3:30 a.m. Dirk Nowitzki in June led the Mavericks into the NBA Finals. He leads Germany today, Fran.
At 28 years old, the five-time All-Star Jim is rounding into the prime of his NBA career, coming off a 26-point-a-game season and third in the MVP balloting.
And on this German team, he leads the team in minutes, points, rebounds, and assists. He had a 47-point outing earlier in the tournament in a triple overtime win over Angola. But of course, in those NBA Finals, Dwyane Wade in the Miami Heat said, Dirk, we'll take it from here. Thank you.
Well, an all too familiar face for Dirk. D. Wade coming off that MVP performance in the finals. Dallas up 2-0, and Wade, Shaq, and the rest took over.
And the starting lineups covered by State Farm. It'll be Okalaja and Nowitzki at the forwards for Germany. Femmerling in the middle, Green and Hammond at the backcourt. The United States with Battier and Anthony up front with Brand, LeBron James, and Chris Paul at the guard spots. The U.S. unbeaten 6-0 coming in. Germany 5-1. The lone loss by Germany, they were blown out in their loss to Spain. So when you look at this game, Fran, you know, you've got to feel that the United States obviously will be heavily favored. And other than Nowitzki on that German team, they don't have the quality of play to match up with the U.S.
They really don't, Jim. But as Shane Battier mentioned, and he will probably start on Dirk, Dirk is one of the 5 best players on planet Earth. And you have to think back to 2004 in an exhibition game in Cologne, and you were there. Dirk took this team to the wire. It took that Allen Iverson buzzer beater to defeat this German team.
There's LeBron James. He is third on the United States team in scoring. And his floor play and leadership has been just unbelievable in this whole tournament run.
Well, second in assists behind Chris Paul.
There's a look at the officials working this game. The final game in the quarterfinals in the 2006 FIBA World Championship.
USA versus Germany.
So Elton Brand ready to jump against Patrick Femmerling, and it's Femmerling with the tap. Germany controlling the tip.
Battier on Dirk. Let's see if they need to double team him at all throughout this game. Germany wants to slow the tempo of this game.
And Germany gets the lead. Hammond delivering.
Very solid young guard for Germany. He'll play in Italy this year with Marco Bellinelli in Bologna.
Stephen Hammond. Here goes Battier. Over Femmerling, and a foul called. Battier shoots 2.
Be interesting to see. We have not seen much zone versus Team USA because of the way they've shot the basketball. But Dirk Bowerman, a very good defensive coach.
That foul was on Nowitzki. So the first foul of the game against Dirk. And Shane Battier on the free throw line for the United States. Battier has been terrific in shooting the ball in this tournament.
Boy, he sure has. 67% from behind the arc, 10 for 15. And of course, the great floor play and hustle.
Germany trying to extend on the 1-point lead. How about the quote by Dirk Bowerman prior to this game on what it would take to win against the United States?
Well, he said they have nothing to lose. It's the chance of a lifetime. You don't want to gamble, That's been an Achilles heel for Team USA throughout this tournament.
They're off to a good start. Okulaja connecting to put them up by 3.
Familiar name for college fans. Okulaja played at North Carolina.
Here's Paul, Battier, and now LeBron James. LeBron James bags a 3 as the U.S. pulls even.
You have to pick your poison with Team USA. If you play the jump shot, it opens up their great driving opportunities.
And Chris Paul, who leads the U.S. in steals in the tournament, picks up the personal foul instead. Remember, 4 10-minute quarters in FIBA. The three-point line about 3 points shorter than the NBA. 5 fouls, you foul out. And the free throw lane different is a trapezoid look on the international court.
And you see Battier still on Nowitzki.
And here's the U.S. with its first steal. And it's Chris Paul, tip jam, LeBron James.
Remember, once that ball goes on the rim, it's live, so LeBron can go up and get the tip. Good, smart play. They've adjusted to international basketball. You see that ball would be goaltending in college or in the NBA, but that's a legal play in international play.
So it is 5 straight points by LeBron James as the United States takes the lead.
The key here for Team USA, pressure without gambling.
Screen and roll. And it's Nowitzki at the rim.
Screen and roll has been also a little bit of a problem for Team USA throughout this tournament.
Chris Paul getting inside. It opened it up for Brand, but they prefer that corner look.
Yep.
And Nowitzki clears for Germany.
Germany's got to give up something. I would give up jump shots if I were Team Germany.
How about the minutes Dirk Nowitzki has played in this tournament?
35 a game, Jim, and remember, he's coming off a season where he played 104 for the Dallas Mavericks, including playoffs.
So it'll be interesting to see what kind of NBA season Dirk can put together after this heavy load of action. LeBron James backs down and sets up Paul. And Nowitzki another rebound.
See, I like this if I'm Germany right now. As well as Team USA has shot the 3, I would prefer to pick my poison and allow them to shoot those jumpers.
Nice drive on the dive and the rebound to Paul. Carmelo Anthony on the miss. The loose ball rebound recovered by Brand.
Great tip out by Shane Battier. That's something that doesn't show up in the stat sheet.
Here's Anthony around Okulaja. And Nowitzki with the block. The loose ball saved by the U.S., but Germany ends up with it.
Excellent team defense that time.
Nowitzki is clobbered going to the hoop. Battier called for the foul. And there's those minutes that we were talking about. He's been very productive, no question, but still he has probably played as many minutes as anybody else in the tournament.
Well, he has, Jim, and if you look at his numbers, he's only shooting 30% from 3, where he shoots 38 from the NBA line a little further out for his career. And interestingly, only 80% from the foul line in his tournament. Career 86% shooter.
And Nowitzki with 3 points so far. You know, I always bring this up when people talk about minutes and a lot of activity over a short period of time. In 1992, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen had won their second NBA title. They go with Dream Team to Barcelona. They win the gold medal there. Then they come back and win their third NBA championship.
But you're talking about 2 superhumans.
Well, we are with Nowitzki as well.
You're right. You're right. Well, he's got an obligation, he feels. You see a little token pressure there. And you see how sound Germany is. Now they fall back into a zone. Dirk Bowerman plays mostly man.
Underneath is Anthony. He thought he was fouled, and here comes Germany looking to extend on the lead. Oh, a huge 3 as Germany goes up by 5.
Well, Damon Green, Mike Krzyzewski talked about him. Very athletic, little undersized, but a good scoring 2-guard. Dual citizen of the United States and Germany.
The other thing that's been similar with this U.S. team is they have not gotten off to very good starts as Anthony misses here.
I don't think this is their best defensive team on the floor overall, even if you include Battier. But right now, they're playing into Germany's hands by shooting tough shots. And good sound help defense by Team Germany.
Battier on Nowitzki. Battier pokes it away. Oh. Dirk. With a long three, the shot clock winding down on him, so he had to cast it up there. Going to the rim is Anthony, and he draws the foul.
Well, Germany was not set in their team defense because of that mini transition, and Anthony had the lane, and you see he takes it right to the rim, and Dirk's got one foul, Jim, so he can't pick up that second foul.
Femmerling did. The first foul on Peter Femmerling, and Dwyane Wade has come on for the United States. Kirk Heinrich also in the lineup.
Well,
for the U.S.
You know, Heinrich is an underrated defender. With Wade now, we've seen this throughout the tournament. That first group has gotten off to some slow starts. Let's see what Heinrich and Wade can bring to Mike Krzyzewski's defensive intensity.
Carmelo Anthony has his first point of the game. Anthony shooting 74% from the foul line in the tournament and averaging 19.7.
People back here in the United States don't know the name Dirk Bowerman, but he was a graduate student at Fresno State University back in the mid-'80s, and Ron Adams, the head coach, gave him an opportunity to coach.
Heinrich took it away from Demerel, and that gives the U.S. a chance here at another field goal as LeBron James is controlling.
He should take it right at Nowitzki. Well, that's okay, too.
Deep two by LeBron James. James having a good start. 7 points early of the 10 U.S. scored.
You've got to speed the tempo up if you're Team USA.
Kirk Heinrich called for his first foul, and a timeout taken with Germany nursing a 1-point lead. Point lead. You know, earlier, Fran, we were talking about Dirk Bowerman and that quote he had prior to the game. Well,
I wouldn't want to have to clean that up.
We hope he doesn't mean that literally, but we understand his point. They're going to have to play the game of their lives to win this. Germany has never beaten the United States in World Championship play, nor at any time on the senior men's level.
Well, I mentioned Dirk Bowerman, and just to finish that story, he was at Fresno State. Ron Adams, who is a defensive guru, now an assistant coach with the Bulls, gave him a job. He came back. He's won 7 German league titles since then.
Off the ball, we have a whistle and a foul on LeBron James.
Well, that time you saw LeBron now guarding Dirk. That's the versatility and the depth of this Team USA. They're going to rotate bodies on Dirk and make fatigue a factor.
Germany brings it in play. Femmerling.
Femmerling at 7-1, a very physical player.
Here's Nowitzki. Dirk on the fade over LeBron, and it's rebounded by Heinrich.
LeBron did a good job of walling off the lane.
And the United States takes the lead on the Wade bank.
Wade is averaging a point a minute in this tournament.
Down at the other end, good defense, a tip in by Okulaja, it counts, and a foul on the United States.
Very important for Ademola Okulaja to become that second scorer. He's coming off an 18-point performance versus Nigeria, and he needs to take some of the load off of Dirk.
Apparently,
Dwight Howard.
We see Bosh in the game. No basket on that tip in. Sven Schultz, number 6, has come on for Germany. Yeah, that basket did count as Okulaja completes the 3-point play. So 5 points for Okulaja. And Germany up by a couple.
See Germany now playing that aggressive 2-3 zone.
Anthony on the miss. Brand with the rebound. And a foul on Okulaja, his first.
Germany does go deep into their bench, but they cannot afford to lose key scorers like Okalaja, Green, and Nowitzki.
Here's Wade. Rebounded by Bosh.
Well, Bosh trying to make the spectacular play.
And it's Bosh again at the rim. This time it goes down.
And remember, Jim, he went right at Nowitzki because Nowitzki's already picked up that first early foul. That's good recognition by Bosh.
Okalaja out front and off the ball. A foul on Germany. It's on Schultz. Sven Schultz with his first.
Very physical player who also plays in the Italian league. Good shooter as well. It's a veteran team, Jim, of international play.
Yep, and Joe Johnson has checked in for the United States. Remember, he's on a pretty hot shooting run the last couple of games. He struggled earlier in the tournament, but he has found his shooting eye.
This is a guy that when he played for Mike D'Antoni, shot 48% from three. Of course, Steve Nash had a little to do with that, too.
Dwyane Wade. Joe Johnson on the mid-range jumper. And a loose ball foul on Chris Bosh.
Well, a lot of jump shots so far versus the zone. Now, they shoot 40% from the three coming in, but as we've talked about, the best way to attack a zone defense and to rip its heart out is to get the ball into the lane.
United States over the limit, and there's a look at the field goal shooting. Each team with 5 hoops, but Germany on 9 attempts and the U.S. on 16. And Germany getting to the foul line with Damon Green there for the first time.
Young man born in Fort Hood, Texas.
And he has scored 4 points so far in the game.
He spent his entire career in the German league, did not play in college.
Germany up by 2. The winner gets Greece in the semifinals.
Dirk Bowerman said he'd be very happy to keep this game in the 70s, low 80s if possible. You see the zone.
The U.S. throws over it as Bosh is there to slam it home.
When you attack the zone from the inside, it contracts the defense and it'll make jump shooting a little bit easier.
Heinrich putting good pressure out on the perimeter. Okalaja comes to get it. And that's a 3 made to put Germany up by 3. Schultz connecting.
Well, I mentioned the big body, but he's also got that reputation of being a good jump shooter.
Germany packing it in with that zone. Wade somehow got through, and the ball is out of bounds to Germany.
Well, Dirk got a break there because he had to avoid the foul, but you see, throwing behind the zone, attacking the zone from the weak side in the lane. Good heads-up strategy there.
Germany a 3-point edge, about 2.5 left in the quarter.
Heinrich's ball hawking has been very, very good so far.
Joe Johnson defending on Okalaja. No walk. And Nowitzki on the miss. The rebound is out of bounds to Germany.
Now, you saw that play. It looked like a takedown. You get 2 points for this in wrestling right there. But again,
yeah, the official ruled that Wade last to touch it as it went out.
Game has gotten physical, Jim.
Good play. Germany with its biggest lead at 5.
Now, so much concern for Dirk off the screen that Schultz was able to slip to the rim.
Heinrich. And the threes aren't dropping for the U.S. in this game, but in the tournament they've shot very well from 3. Nowitzki with his 2nd foul.
Now that probably means that you'll see more zone from Germany. You see the over the back there, but you still must attack Dirk in the lane. Try to pick up that 3rd.
Elton Brand on the line. Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, I should say, on the line as the U.S. is down by 5 with 1:56 left in this quarter. You know, this is somewhat of a different substitution pattern for Mike Krzyzewski. Fran, he's been pretty much coming with, when he makes that first substitution, an entire group. Right. Guys have just kind of drifted into the game here today.
Well, what we've thought, we saw this in the Italy game, we thought that the rotation would shrink as the competition level got better. But on the other hand, the depth and versatility of this team has worn opponents out.
Hebert in the ball game now for Germany. Joe Hebert, number 8, 6'6".
Can't gamble. You can't gamble.
Tell you what, Dirk's got confidence in his teammates.
Dirk has been, as you mentioned earlier, a very good playmaker in this tournament as well.
Leading them in assists. Joe Johnson gets into a 3, and there's a much-needed three-point hit.
And the reason he got such an easy shot was because Wade's ability to get into the middle of the zone off the dribble.
Now a drive and kick for Germany, and the U.S. coming back looking for the lead. Dwight Howard with the rebound. Heinrich.
You see that zone? There's the dribble penetration.
Now Wade getting back inside. Couldn't finish, lefty. And it's out of bounds to Germany. Less than a minute for the quarter.
Well, this is about the maximum pace that Dirk Bowerman wants to play at. Hebert, a familiar name to Big East fans, has finished a nice career at West Virginia for John Beilein.
Demerel controlling. That's a familiar look by Nowitzki, but the shot won't drop. Dirk with just 4 points so far and just 1 field goal.
That's where I mentioned, Jim, despite the scoring output, not shooting like he does during the NBA season.
Joe Johnson on the miss. Dwight Howard a recovery and a foul on Germany. Score the basket.
And one. I've heard a continuation, but that play started last Tuesday. Holy moly.
Germany can't believe it, nor can the fans, almost 20,000 in attendance.
See, now in the act of shooting is really a matter of a referee's decision there, but it looked like Howard was still gathering himself about a full second after the foul.
Three-point play by Dwight Howard, and the United States has scored the last 7 to go up by 2.
Jim, Heinrich's ball pressure has been outstanding in this half. He's really taken Germany out of a lot of its rhythm in the offense.
Demerel controlling. 8 on the shot clock. And it's Bosh collecting the rebound. The U.S. trying to have the final say. Wade for 3. And the first quarter has come to an end. We've got a good one working in this quarterfinal matchup.
USA leading the first period.
With one notable exception, Fran.
That's right. Italy outscored Team USA 26-11, but in the last 2 games, Team USA has been absolutely on fire in this corner.
And that Italy game was the most competitive that the U.S. has had in the tournament. Anthony knocked away, and last touch by the United States.
That time you saw soft man-to-man defense. It looked like a zone, but because there's not much ball movement in Team USA's offense, Anthony really basically had to play 1-on-2.
Stephen Hammond back in for Germany. Here's Garrett, doubled up, reach-in foul called on the United States. Dwyane Wade called for the foul. His first.
And I've mentioned this throughout the tournament. You see Wade almost gets it from behind, but Jim, in my opinion, this may work against Germany. It will not work versus Argentina and Spain. You got to play sound 20 feet and in defense against these teams.
Earlier today, Greece a 17-point winner over France. That will be the opponent for the winner of this game. And a foul on Heinrich.
Third time today that Hammond has gotten free off a post feed and a cut to the basket.
Heinrich goes out with his second foul.
Number 14,
Elton Brand coming back in. Bosh going out. Chris Paul is in for Heinrich.
Germany free throw at the line. Number 9,
Stefan Hammond at the free throw line for Germany.
As a coach in this situation, I know what Dirk Bowerman is thinking. The longer this game goes that we can hang around, it's like Rocky and Apollo Creed. You just want to be in the game as long as possible. And because it's an elimination game, you want to hope Team USA at some point gets tight.
But in the other games in the tournament, there has always been one, maybe more, where the U.S. goes on a 13-0 run or something like that to blow it open. It's the final quarterfinal game at the St. Thomas Super Center. Jim Durham with Fran Fraschilla. The U.S. having problems with the zone defense of Germany here in this first half. Remember, the winner moves in to take on Greece in the second semifinal game Friday morning at 6:30 Eastern time here on ESPN2. Good find. Wade to Anthony. Knocked away. Carmelo stays with it. And now Germany on the move. Oh, nice. Okalaja scoring.
Started with the intensity at the other end, the block shots, the physical play, and it led to a transition basket.
Anthony. Saved by Joe Johnson.
Ball movement, attack the lane.
Oh, off the reverse. Wade unable to convert, but Paul with a recovery. The first 2 points for Chris Paul.
You see what Patrick Femmerling does, Jimmy. 7'1". He doesn't try to block shots. He just tries to wall off the rim.
Stefan Hammond controlling for Germany.
Germany now in a flex offense.
And a foul called on the U.S. on Elton Brand. Oh, it's on Femmerling.
Well, Brand was able to poke it loose.
A clip called on Femmerling.
Number 14, Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, they called that foul on Okalaja apparently away from the play. That's his second.
And Nowitzki back with 2. See, Nowitzki's a wing player now in that zone. I would try to isolate somebody on that side and drive the ball at him.
A lack of forced turnovers. Elton Brand called for a walk. A lack of forced turnovers by the United States, not leading to transition baskets. The U.S. came in averaging 19 turnovers forced, while they have turned it over 10 times. Germany forces only 10, slightly less than 11 actually, and turns it over a little more than 13.
As you get deeper in this tournament versus the really good teams, Jim, turnovers less of a factor and field goal defense more important.
Nowitzki missing again.
Team USA has put 3 different bodies on him so far. Bosh, Battier, and James.
Dirk is 1 of 6, and I think before the game, if you would have told me that was going to happen, we wouldn't have a tie game. Dirk going 1 out of 6 to start out, but Germany has played well in other areas.
Well, again, this is a team with older players, a lot of international experience. Femmerling, for example, was a very good college player at Washington. Okalaja as well, Final Four experience. These guys play in good leagues over here.
Okalaja would tend to shoot, had it knocked loose. And it's out of bounds to Germany. They'll be coming in with 8 on the shot clock.
Could have easily been another reach-in foul by Okulaja.
There's Nowitzki's numbers, and yet Germany is tied in this game here in the first half. A timeout taken, 25 all. Germany has been outstanding in this first half, and Dirk Nowitzki has not.
Well, you made a great point, Jim, at the break. He's only got 1 field goal. Dirk Bowerman mentioned they're going to need more scoring from other players.
Like Okulaja, who's called for a walk coming out of the corner.
Okulaja coming off an 18-point performance in the win over Nigeria. You see Dirk Bowerman. Very well respected on the international scene. Zone has been effective so far for Germany. But you see, you got Dirk out there. You can attack him off the dribble.
Instead, Heinrich launching the 3. And the United States came into this game shooting better than 41% from 3. They have been stone cold today. And the rebound is raked down by LeBron James.
Very fortunate on that pick and roll opportunity for Hammond. Didn't finish.
Another jumper, another miss.
Another tip out by Battier. Another one of those plays that never shows up on the score sheet. Although that there is an offensive rebound.
Heinrich.
I would find Dirk in the zone and attack him.
Here goes Heinrich. Now it's LeBron James, and on contact, an offensive foul on LeBron, his second.
Well, again, dribble penetration is usually pretty good against the zone, but LeBron puts his head down, and that's actually a block. You know, and both ways, Jim, we saw that ridiculous continuation call where Dwight Howard got the chance at the 3-point play. Very inconsistent officiating, in my opinion, so far.
Germany turns it over.
Both ways.
The ball goes to the United States. 6:01 left before halftime. Germany has led by as many as 5. The U.S. led by 2 at the quarter, but the U.S. with only 2 points on the board in this second quarter.
They're averaging 27 a game in this quarter.
And they were so good from 3, but not today. There's Elton Brand putting the U.S. up by 2.
If you're not going to shoot the ball well, best thing to do is attack the zone from inside off the dribble or off the offensive glass.
United States came into this game shooting better than 53% overall and better than 41% from 3. Nowitzki. Yep. Dirk Nowitzki with his second hoop, and he's got 6.
You mentioned it's only a matter of time before he gets going. That was excellent defense by Battier.
Oh, Heinrich sticks a long 3. Kirk Heinrich with his first points.
Heinrich has been rock solid, and you see now the 2 point guards in the game for Mike Krzyzewski. That'll give them good defensive pressure, and Heinrich's outside shooting as well.
Less than 5 minutes for the half. Battier defending on Nowitzki.
Good defense.
And here comes the United States.
They don't have to steal it. They need to contest shots.
Battier, their best 3-point shooter, unable to connect. Brand the rebound. And it's Paul rattles the 3 in and out.
Well, they're going to live and die with the jump shot, and that sometimes can be precarious.
Dirk Nowitzki working over Battier, and a foul on Battier.
Dirk knows these guys so well, Jim. All these guys have defended him during the season, so he's got an idea in his mind of what will work, and that was a great isolation play that time.
2 fouls on Battier, and now Coach K making mass substitutions. He's got Howard back in along with Bosh. Joe Johnson back in the game. Dirk Nowitzki to shoot 2 in that play with Nowitzki and Battier. The second foul on Battier. And in a couple of months, when you see that happen, it'll be the Mavericks and the Rockets going at each other in the NBA season.
Except Battier will have a 7'5" center helping from the weak side. Now, the last time Bosh guarded Nowitzki, Dirk was able to get right to the rim, and he missed point blank. So let's see if they go at Bosh.
United States big three struggling to score, and that means the U.S. is struggling to score. And the threes haven't been dropping with great regularity, but Joe Johnson has his second.
But it's an easier three because it came off a dribble penetration, which, as I mentioned before, contracts the defense.
4 minutes left in the half. The ball swatted away by Dwight Howard.
When Dwight Howard gets more experience, he'll keep that ball in play. Now, there's no way Roller's going to make this shot, Jim. All he's got to do is tip at it and try to control the basketball.
Roller is just 5'11".
Roller has been a valuable player for this national team in the past.
It's Bosh defending on Nowitzki.
See how deep Dirk's able to get.
Here comes the U.S.
Oh, he's got numbers.
Looking to get their biggest lead. A lot of shots in and out by the United States. And Germany's got to run out the other way.
They had a chance to get the ball inside, and they passed up on it for the jump shot. That led to the long rebound and run out.
Oh, this is all that Dirk Bowerman, the coach of Germany, can ask for.
And that shot was as well.
And up the floor, a foul on Wade. Wade has his second personal. Germany with a chance to tie. 3:16 left in the half. Rolla to shoot two. Roller has his first point.
This guy was one of the heroes of last year's silver medal winning team in the European Championships. Plays at Frankfurt.
The three-point shooting has been atrocious for the U.S. 4 for 17, and as long as they continue to miss, Germany stays packed in that zone.
Well, remember Argentina and New Zealand in the opening elimination round. Argentina missed its first 16 threes of that game.
Dwyane Wade, Howard, and there's a contact. The foul on Nowitzki. That's his third.
That's a good play. Again, we talked about it. Attack the lane. You have a chance to attack Dirk, and that's a big foul, Jim. Dwight Howard, he does a lot of things really well. One thing he has not done well in this tournament is finished around the rim. For a big guy shooting below 50%, that's not efficient, but he brings you a lot of energy.
Fremerling back in. Nowitzki going out with 3 fouls. And Dwight Howard on the line for the United States. 2 of 3 from the line so far in this game. The U.S. goes up by 1.
Right now for Germany, it's important to what we say, hold the fort down for 3 more minutes. Get to halftime with your best player on the bench, and you're still in the game.
Because even though Dirk hasn't had that sensational game that we're all accustomed to, because he's on the floor, the rest of them have.
Because he's on the floor, he attracts defenders. And that leads to open scoring opportunities for his teammates.
Carmelo Anthony back in for the United States. U.S. putting on some pressure.
Well, Schulte threw the ball off Carmelo's back, which is a cheesy play unless it's near to the other end and you get a cheap 2 out of it.
Ball out of bounds to Germany. Wade on the deflection.
That play is actually a dumb play by Schulte, throwing it off Carmelo's back, because if he misses it, it turns out to be a USA basket at that end of the court.
Germany coming in with 12 to shoot. Roller.
Good help, good hands.
Bosh almost had the steal from the 5'11" guard and then collects the rebound.
Bosh has been very active the last 3 games after getting a lot of pine time early in this tournament.
Still the zone. Still the misses.
You sense that Carmelo's pressing a little bit.
And the U.S. has got one at the rim to Anthony.
And I think it was that poked it loose to start.
So Mike Krzyzewski's club up 4 with a timeout taken. Hanging right with the United States as you see Anthony and Wade returning to action, and Germany playing without Dirk Nowitzki over the last 3 minutes plus because of 3 fouls. This has been just the way Dirk Bowerman, the German coach, laid it out for them.
Well, we talked about having to give up something, and they've given Team USA jump shots. So far, it's paid off.
Femmerling knocked away by Wade. Oh, and the layup won't go. Then Wade gets clipped.
Wade rushed it because he was expecting the international foul on the break, and it never came. He thought Green would foul him.
And now the whistle for the Wade injury.
Jim, the steal happened. It happened so quickly. He assumed he was going to get fouled by Green because that's the play in international basketball. Keep your eye on this. Great steal. He looks behind, rushes the shot, and then he catches a bow from Roller.
Roller really popped him one. So a timeout taken as Dwyane Wade is injured on this play, and Germany is back to within 2.
One of the reasons this is key for USA right now is think back to the Brazil game on the exhibition tour. Wade fouled out early 3rd quarter, and Team USA was out of sorts after that.
And won by only 4. Now watch this as they go for the loose ball.
Substitution for USA. Number 6, Lebron
Roller
James.
just basically rolls him across the face.
There you see Wade's 1 for 7. Now you combine that with Carmelo Anthony's 1 for 9. And there's a lot of your problem from a U.S. standpoint, as well as 4 for 18 from 3 for the United States in this first half.
Well, 18 of their 41 shots have been from behind the arc. And even though Germany is playing zone, Team USA's had no problem getting the ball to the lane whenever it needed to.
Wade comes out, and the U.S. trying to extend on its 2-point lead.
Now man to man.
And it's LeBron James. Nice handoff to Bosh. And then it's knocked loose, but the U.S. recovers. Anthony missing again. But a foul called on the rebound. It's on Bosh.
We talked about it, Jim. The longer this game stays close, the likelihood that Team USA starts to press a little bit more, because they understand this is now one and done, unlike the game versus Italy.
It looks like they're checking the right eye of Dwyane Wade. He may have got poked in the eye. Okalaja on the free throw line for Germany. 7 points today. Made his only free throw attempt and is 10 for 12 in the tournament.
Okalaja, part of 2 Final Four teams, played for Dean Smith and Bill Guthridge at North Carolina.
Germany pulls even. Okalaja with 9. Dirk Nowitzki 3 fouls. Sitting out the last 3 minutes plus.
This has been a perfect recipe tempo-wise.
Oh, that's too easy, but LeBron James unable to connect on the layup.
Dirk Bowerman loves this tempo. Team USA averaging over 100 a game. See the deliberate offense?
Remember that quote from Bowerman that we showed you? He said, in essence, gentlemen, we have to lay our hearts out on the court to win this one. Tip dunk, Okalaja.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but the effort was phenomenal. And that's what you mean by laying your heart out there.
6 in a row for Germany and a 2-point lead. LeBron James, and a foul on Germany. Okalaja called for the foul.
That might be his 3rd, Jim.
That's what I have. But remember, our statistics haven't often jived with the stats of the FIBA scorers.
Watch the effort here by Okalaja getting inside. no block out, so it becomes a 50-50 rebound. Two black shirts on the inside. That's never good.
The United States in this first half, 13 out of 42 and 4 of 18 for 3.
See, almost 50% of their shots are from behind the arc.
Grunheid checks in for Germany. Off the inbounds, Anthony nails a 3. Carmelo Anthony.
Well, you have to love the confidence to be able to come right back and stick a 3.
But I guess that's, you know, that's the logic here, is you just got to keep shooting the ball.
Well, and if you're Dirk Bowerman, you're going to play the percentages.
Sure.
That in a one-shot game. Remember now, this game's only 20. There's only 20 minutes left in this game, and they're in it.
Joe Johnson. It's Anthony again. And Germany has a chance to get the lead at halftime.
One shot is what Dirk Bowerman just yelled.
No 24-second clock involved here in the final seconds of the half. Time running out on Germany. And the U.S. the rebound as the half comes to an end, with the United States clinging to a 1-point lead in spite of the foul trouble to Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, Coach Bowerman said it had to be more than a Dirk Nowitzki show. Damon Green and Adamola Okalaja have picked up the slack, and Dirk's only got 8. So you know you got to be concerned about him in the second half as he hits the tough shot over Battier. Open court offense has not been there for Team USA. Here's one of the rare easy baskets. And then Dwyane Wade off the steal in the breakaway. Looks behind him, misses the layup, and gets whacked on the takedown by Pascal Roller.
And appeared to have gotten poked in the right eye. Time now for our Chevrolet game track. You can see the shooting. 14 for 44 for the U.S. and 5 of 20 from 3 against the German zone defense.
When you look at the percentage of three-point shots versus overall, as good as they've shot in this tournament, that's too many threes, in my opinion.
Germany had led by as many as 5. The Gatorade Cooler Talk is asking the question, is USA basketball on its way back to gold? I'm not so sure after this first half.
There's a lot of good basketball being played around the world, but this guy and these two guys, Colangelo and Coach K, have at least started the program back in the right direction. The class, the attitude, the versatility and depth of this team. It's going to be tough to win this gold, but I will say this, they're heading in the right direction, Jim.
And we'll have more at halftime with the United States hanging on to a 1.
Now, Scotty Smiley, who's blind, certainly has served his country, has done his duty, has demonstrated selfless service in the lives he's saved and everything he's done.
Yep.
Dwyane?
Yep.
How you doing? I'm doing well. Thanks, sir.
Scotty, hear me? I know y'all very proud. I know y'all got, when y'all put y'all uniforms on, I know y'all got a lot of pride. Because we put these jerseys on, we feel a lot of pride walking around with USA on our chest. We don't get a chance to tell y'all. Y'all our role models to us, and we respect what y'all do for our country.
And the WN. But let's see if Dwyane Wade is in the lineup at the start of the second half. It doesn't appear as if he will be starting this second half. There are some changes to the starting lineup. The three-point shooting has been very good for the U.S. in the tournament up until this game.
Well, three-point shooting, old coaches know, it comes and goes. You got to win this game with your defense, and because Germany has stayed in that zone, you also must attack the inside of the zone and work from inside out and not outside in.
So it's a smaller group out there for the U.S. Kirk Heinrich in the lineup along with Joe Johnson, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, and Howard.
The question you have now is who will guard Dirk? Dirk and Okalaja each have 3 fouls. So how can you take the ball at them if you're Team USA to exploit the foul trouble?
Dirk Bowerman, the German coach. Probably had a pretty good halftime session with his club because they've done it just the way he laid it out. With Fran Fraschilla, I'm Jim Durham. Welcome back to St. Thomas as we head for the second half, and the United States on top by 1 with the winner advancing to play Greece.
Well, you remember Heinrich and the great ball pressure in the first half. Let's see if the defense can be ratcheted up.
They have the steal as they took it away from Nowitzki, and LeBron James with the basket.
Nowitzki is not going to foul James. James knows that, and James has started on Nowitzki.
And now it's Heinrich popping it loose, and the U.S. off to the races again. But a traveling violation turns it over to Germany.
We have not seen many of those phantom traveling calls throughout this tournament you usually see in FIBA play.
Germany led by as many as 5 in the first half. The U.S. was up by just 4, was the biggest lead for the United States.
There's a little trap. First time we've seen that today.
Nowitzki. And it's tapped out, but controlled by the U.S. And traveling, a double dribble call on Carmelo Anthony.
Nowitzki got away with almost a 4th foul there.
Well, the U.S. would have to win to make all 4 of the favorites advance to the semifinals.
If that happens, Jim, these are the 4 best teams in this tournament. I felt that way coming in, and it's proved out to be so far.
Stephen Hammond under pressure for Germany. Exchanges with Okulaja. The shot clock at 8. Here goes Hammond. Contact and a foul offensive. Stephen Hammond called for the foul.
Heinrich went under the screen that time and was still able to get in front of Hammond. That was a heck of a defensive play and a reason why he's starting the second half.
But the U.S. still unable to put any distance between themselves and Germany. Again, Germany in the zone, and again another miss from 3 for the United States.
Jim, they can get that shot later in the shot clock. They must get the ball to the lane.
Femerling guarded by Howard. Foul on Howard. Dwight Howard with his first.
Well, Howard not used to guarding that far out on the perimeter during the NBA season. Femerling with some experience.
And Germany with the ball, sideline out of bounds.
Here we go, what?
8.5 left in the third.
Very good rhythm in this German offense so far.
Nowitzki. Femerling in the mid-post area. Nice up and under move on Howard.
Well, he's 7'1". He's got an awful lot of international. Oh,
spectacular! Anthony at the other end.
Team USA has not gotten a lot of transition baskets. This came off of a basket by Germany.
U.S. on top by 3. Pressure defense by the United States, and so Nowitzki will throw in. Dirk Nowitzki played with 3 fouls in the first half. Didn't have his shooting eye either. He scored 8 points, but a lot of the American players didn't have their shooting eyes.
Hammond's having a lot of trouble with Heinrich. Not that time.
And the foul on Heinrich.
Hammond dribbled that whole possession. He came off the screen, and he had no choice, really, because of the pressure to put his head down, get to the rim, and then he makes the circus shot.
And that's 3 fouls on Heinrich. Stephen Hammond with his best Steve Nash impression.
Yep. I mentioned earlier he'll head to Bologna to play with Marco Bellinelli, but Bologna just signed Tyus Edney, a former UCLA star, so Hammond will back him up in the Italian league.
6 points for Hammond. And the U.S. in possession, up by 1.
Every minute this game stays close, the advantage goes to Germany.
Anthony nails a 3. Carmelo Anthony.
You'll love his confidence.
U.S. has equaled its largest lead. We go back to what we were talking about in the first half. These two, well, Germany and the U.S. played an exhibition game prior to the 04 Olympics, and it went right to the wire. Foul called on the United States. Is that on Heinrich? That's his fourth, if it is. It's on Joe Johnson.
You can tell right now, Team USA anxious to get out in transition.
Maybe too anxious?
Yeah, that happens a lot. They're trying to break the game open, and it's understandable because of the closeness of this game, but you just got to stay rock solid.
Here's a steal, and that opens up a transition. Carmelo Anthony. 14 points for Anthony, 7 in the third, and the U.S. with its biggest lead. And it's out of bounds to Germany.
Looked like Femmerling traveled with it, tippy-toed by midcourt. Melo anticipates the lazy helium pass, jumps through the passing lane. You never throw a bounce pass on the perimeter because it takes too long to get to your teammate.
Substitution, Germany, number 11, Pascal Roller.
Roller returns to the lineup for Germany. Here you see Carmelo Anthony, who has come to life in this third quarter for the United States.
Shades of Italy, 29 in the second half, maybe.
And Wade was right behind him, as I recall, in the second half with his scoring, but he's yet to play so far ever since he went out after getting poked in the eye. Joe Johnson tracks down the loose ball.
Germany thought they had the mismatch. Heinrich and Okulaja couldn't capitalize.
Here goes Joe Johnson, trying to hand to Brand in a crowd, and it's Elton Brand on the tip.
Well, they're not calling a lot inside, but Brand was right there off the miss.
And the United States has opened up an 8-point lead with a timeout taken. Point lead for the United States. And Carmelo Anthony has come to life here in the third.
We talked about him, Jim, before the game. This is a guy that averaged 26 a game for the Nuggets, but more importantly, 11 game-winning shots for George Karl's club. And I think he's established himself in this tournament as being the equal of his compatriots from 2003 in that draft, Wade and James.
Germany, having watched the U.S. score 7 straight, and it's Roller controlling, hounded by Paul. And a foul on Paul.
Paul doesn't need to do that. He had solid pressure. That gives them a new shot clock. Roller was going nowhere.
That's 2 fouls on Chris Paul. 6.5 left in the third. Okulaja rocks back and fires.
Good solid play right out of the timeout. Going at Okulaja.
He's got 13 points. His tournament high is 19.
There's the zone. They need to use both sides of the floor.
A 3 attempt by Paul, another miss for the U.S.
That time they played 3 versus 5 because the ball never got reversed to the other side.
If the U.S. were shooting its 41% from 3 in this game, it would be over.
Yep. And if they played a 7-game series, they'd win 4-0 or 4-1. That's what happens in a one-shot situation when the jump shots don't fall. Germany hangs around, Jim.
Yep. LeBron James stumbling, and he stumbles into an offensive foul.
Second time today. We've seen that throughout the tournament. You have to believe it's good recognition by Germany and Green, because that's the second time Green has gotten his body in the way.
There's a good sign there. Dwyane Wade is back. He went out late in the first half after getting poked in the right eye.
I mentioned that James drive and the foul because these German players know the NBA players, whereas we're not as familiar with Green and Femmerling as much.
Screen and roll with Nowitzki. Oh, Dirk with a good find at the rim, but Germany unable to convert. Dwyane Wade. Anthony. It's a 3 for Anthony, and the U.S. has its biggest lead.
He has proven to be a great rhythm jump shooter, particularly off the break in this tournament.
He's got 10 of his 17 in the third, and he's got 3 3-pointers in the game.
Right now, Team USA needs to make Germany use the shot clock.
Stephen Hammond has it knocked out of bounds. Shane Battier returns for the United States. LeBron James going out. Remember what we said in the first half. At some moment, the opposition is going to be hit with a 13, 14-point run by the United States. And it's how well they handle that. Garrett on a tough fadeaway as Battier clears the rebound.
Well, the other point you made, Jim, at some moment Nowitzki might go off as well.
Oh, Dwyane Wade very light with that one from the perimeter.
It'd be interesting to see how Battier now handles Nowitzki, because LeBron James did an outstanding job in that 5-minute stretch using his strength.
Brawler controlling. High screen and roll. Okalaja has it blocked, and here comes the U.S. It's Wade. If the perimeter shot won't go, he's going to attack the rim, and a foul puts him on the line. Green picking up the personal foul.
Well, you love the basketball IQ of attacking the lane in transition. There's the block. Now he recognizes he doesn't have numbers early on, but he sees the crack, gets the rim before the zone can get set up. Good basketball acumen right there.
And he knew where Brand was going to be set up on that play, so he used him as a pick.
Absolutely.
So Dwyane Wade shooting 2. He has just 2 points today, 1 for 8 from the field. And that gives the U.S. its first 10-point lead of the game. Germany, like other teams in this tournament, have found out you can play your hearts out, like Coach Bowerman suggested they do, and eventually all of that talent is just going to wear you down.
That is usually the case.
Battier down off the ball, and Nowitzki misses another one. This one wide open.
Wide open.
Paul coming back to Wade. Now Wade on the base.
Good ball movement.
Battier. Oh, and the whole team came off the bench expecting that one to go down.
Good possession.
Joe Johnson missing, and the three-point woes continue for the United States. But defensively, they've been rock solid in the third.
Well, that time that was a good possession. They made Germany's zone move side to side.
Garrett has it blocked.
Battier came up with a saving play for Joe Johnson, who lost Garrett.
Wade getting inside, sends it out to Paul. Plenty of time. 11 to shoot. Paul lines up a three. Tipped away by the U.S. Joe Johnson to Wade. Blocked by Garrett.
Oh, you gotta love the spunk of Germany. Wade took it right at him. Garrett, one of those German Americans. He'll remember that one.
10 on the shot clock. Joe Johnson off penetration.
Penetration versus the zone under control is never a bad thing.
7 for 28 from 3 for the U.S., but they are in front by double figures.
Always a good sign when you can. Oh, there's another gamble. Good hustle by Battier.
Couldn't quite keep it alive, but he gets a hand from the crowd for his good effort. Chris Bosh back on for the United States.
See the sloppy pass. Battier shoots the passing lane. What I like about this mix now, Jim, is LeBron started on Nowitzki. Battier's got a hand on him now. Coach K rotating fresh bodies on Dirk.
It's almost like a relay race. You just hand them off, you know?
Exactly. So far, very effective. See, Roller can be pressured. You don't want to give him open court opportunities.
And his shot blocked by Bosh as the U.S. brings it down in some kind of transition. Wade spins in. Bosh, the offensive rebound.
Bosh has been quietly doing a great job on the backboards today.
Right to Bosh, over the head, flip, yep, and a foul.
That was almost from half court. Chris Paul recognized Bosh, snuck behind the zone again. How about Chris Bosh?
A look-away feed.
Yep.
Timeout, Germany.
Fairbairn picks up the personal. And a timeout with the United States up by 14. They have held Germany to only 6 points in this third quarter so far.
Well, we've seen that each game there's been at least one run that has cracked the game open, and very reminiscent of the game versus Italy. It came in the third quarter versus Italy. It's coming in the third quarter today. This young man, Chris Bosh, he was left for dead later in the preliminary round, not happy about not getting playing time, but he's been brilliant the last 3 games.
At some stage or another, Mike Krzyzewski has players with championship experience at his disposal. Dwyane Wade, of course, the most recent NBA title. Carmelo Anthony, along with assistant coach Jim Boeheim, won a title at Syracuse, a national championship, as did Shane Battier with one of the Mike Krzyzewski Duke teams in 2001.
Jim, I really believe what makes Battier and Brand so important to Team USA, besides their ability on the court, is their ability to translate their experience with Coach K as collegians to this team here, because the buy-in factor among these NBA All-Stars has been very, very high when it comes to Coach K.
And I think that's, I mean, when people talk about experience, I always feel, Fran, that championship experience is the most important.
Well, and Coach K's got a lot of it at the college level.
Right.
And I think there is a measure of respect for him from these players for that reason.
The U.S. up by 15. And as Fran pointed out, it was their third quarter rally against Italy in the preliminary round that sent them on to victory. And that was fueled by Carmelo Anthony. And so is this one. 2 for Dirk and the foul. Nowitzki with a chance at a 3-point play.
Well, they have made Dirk work today. Dirk Bowerman throughout this tournament has isolated Dirk at the elbow. That time he was able to get to the rim and get the body on the leaner Bosh.
Dirk Nowitzki 4 for 4 from the line in this game. 80% in the tournament coming in.
I mentioned in the first half, Jim, how easily Dirk was able to get on Bosh's body. To me, LeBron has done the best job so far on Dirk Nowitzki.
Chris Paul picked up by Nowitzki. Paul able to float in his second field goal.
Good recognition. He had the slower Nowitzki and took him off the dribble. See the 2 point guards in now for Team USA.
Here's a whistle down low. And a foul on Shane Battier. That is his third. And that puts Germany on the free throw line in the person of Dirk Nowitzki.
In an international play, the 5th foul of every quarter puts a team in the bonus.
That's the NBA rule as well. Dirk Nowitzki 6 out of 6 from the foul line. He has scored 12 points.
So in that 47-point performance over Angola, he went 17 of 17 from the line.
His free throwing keeping Germany within striking distance. 15 has been the biggest lead for the U.S.
Important for Team USA to keep the momentum at the end of this quarter.
At that time, Paul got turned away by Nowitzki, and then Paul is whistled for a personal foul.
Well, Paul, recognizing Nowitzki with 3, takes it at him. But we saw in that Nigeria game where Dirk came up with a heady play. There's the foul and the poke that Dirk knows how to use his shot blocking ability.
That's Chris Paul's third personal foul. Dirk Nowitzki, who has made all of his free throws in this game, 7 straight.
It's a good point, Jim. Germany second in the World Championships at 78% as a team, and they are 17 of 18 today.
Yeah. Add another one to that string. And Germany back to within 10 with a minute left in the third.
Man to man now. Germany out of that zone. See, it's been a physical
there at the guard spot.
It has been a physical game.
It's LeBron James backing down. Oh, LeBron, a nice one-hander.
Well, he had Air Bear. Air Bear is used to playing that 1-3-1 zone at West Virginia. No match for LeBron there.
It's 11 points for LeBron James. Stephen Hammond missing, and it's cleared by Bosh.
Important to get a good look right here and keep that double-digit lead.
Shot clock at 16, about 6 difference.
See the help defense from the weak side.
Same play for LeBron. And as LeBron moved into the lane, there was a foul called on Germany. Foul is on Garrett. First foul on Robert Garrett. Timeout comes with 10.2 left in the third. We'll keep it here. The U.S. in front by 12. They've been up by as many as 15. And still, they're not out of the woods, but it's a lot better than that 1-point halftime lead.
Well, this is a good timeout here. In FIBA play, you get 1 timeout per quarter, plus 2 in the fourth quarter. If you don't use your timeout, you lose it. Coach K, with the ball underneath, is drawing up a play right now. And what's good about this situation is Team USA should have the last shot of the half of the quarter, theoretically.
Well, Germany not an exception to those countries having that American influence on their basketball. They've had a number of players play at college level in the U.S.
Yep. Now I want you to look at Patrick Femmerling, Jim, Washington, and ask you if you remember the name Detlef Schrempf.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
there's a guy that started that Washington pipeline up there in Seattle. Detlef Schrempf, Christian Velp, who's like the way I said that?
Very good.
Okay, who's now an assistant coach to Dirk Bowerman on this national team.
And
you see Christian Velp in your picture?
Prior to Dirk Nowitzki arriving on the NBA scene, Detlef Schrempf was their best NBA player.
That's right. And by the way, how about, you got to give kudos to Don and Donnie Nelson for pulling off the trade back in 1998 where they sent their draft pick, Robert Traylor, to the Milwaukee Bucks for some unknown 18-year-old named Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, but they had their eye on Dirk for a long time. There was no way they were not going to come away from that draft without Dirk Nowitzki somehow, some way. Paul nails a 3.
And off of LeBron James's dish, who's done that all tournament.
What a way to end the third quarter.
67-52, USA leading the game.
Not that big a deal, but you will see the 4 best teams in the world on Friday morning.
How about that for a Final Four?
Absolutely. We thought that might be the 4 best coming in. It's proved to be. Well, of course, USA has not won yet, but the 3 leaders, the 3 top seeds from the other groups. There's the zone.
Which early on was extremely difficult for the United States to crack. But lately, you know, they're getting open looks. The shots aren't dropping.
Well, much better ball movement.
I don't know what the FIBA World Championship record is for 3-pointers missed, but I'm sure the U.S. is closing in on it. That's Hammond on the scoop.
Hammond has been very feisty today in terms of getting to the rim.
So it's back to a 14-point advantage for the United States. Wade. Whoops. D. Wade forgot something and then picks up the foul, trying to get it back.
Well, how about Dirk poking it loose? Dirk with the steal on D. Wade and then the foul. Again, Jim, Team USA adjusting to international play. The foul in the backcourt to nullify the fast break.
Yeah, I will say this, though. That is something that they do in the NBA also.
Yep.
You know, a ball gets popped loose and somebody will reach out and grab a jersey right away to try to prevent that from happening. But, you know, that's good thinking. Nowitzki loses it to Anthony. It's Paul on a 3, and a loose ball foul on Germany.
See, Team USA has, for the most part, played at one speed in this tournament, so the quick shots are nothing new. But there does come a point in the game where you've got to make the clock your ally.
Anthony, clank, loose ball, out of bounds to Germany.
For the most part, playing at one speed has been to Team USA's advantage in this tournament because of the depth and the pressure. That will not be the case this weekend, where cerebral play will be very important.
And in this specific game, the U.S. is still not Dirk-proof yet.
That's right.
14 points in 6 minutes can be made up.
Well, now Anthony guarding Dirk, fourth player today that's had a piece of Dirk.
And literally, Anthony does on this play, as Carmelo Anthony has the foul, his first.
Well, the only danger here is, based on the way Germany is shooting free throws, you do not want to put them and this guy on the line.
Nowitzki in the mid-post area. Femmerling with a kick out. And they nail a 3 out of the corner, and just like that, it's an 11-point lead.
Air Bear is known to be a great shooter. He was at West Virginia, a good look.
That's his first points.
Yep. Again, we talked about ball movement and using a little bit of clock.
They're using some here. Joe Johnson answers that 3.
Contested, but good rhythm.
Nowitzki.
Travel.
It is a travel violation against Dirk.
Well, credit Mike Krzyzewski. They have not double-teamed Dirk today. Joe Johnson off the switch right there. Did a nice job of keeping Dirk out of the paint.
He's the second leading scorer in the tournament, and today has scored just 15. Underneath is Brand. Tipped in by Anthony. And we have a foul called, leading to a timeout with the U.S. up 16. 16 at this juncture after Germany had cut it down to 11. The Nike storyline, Dirk Nowitzki limited to 15 points, and yes, a USA team can survive 10 for 38 from 3.
Well, and partly because Carmelo Anthony, once again in this tournament, has been a guy that's put that offense on his back and has no problem doing that.
You know, in some ways, Fran, all of those misses, you know, it's my opinion, it sort of opened up the floor for them.
Well, you're right, Jim. We've seen it in international play with the amount of three-point shots that are taken, because the line is only about 20 feet. Long shots means long rebounds. That's just basketball physics, and that usually means the quicker team will get to the rebounds that are not in the paint.
Anthony trying to finish up on a three-point play. Nowitzki the rebound with 4:50 left, so all indications now the U.S. will be moving on to play Greece in the second semifinal game early Friday morning. That game comes up at 6:30 Eastern. But don't forget, we'll have game 1 prior to that, Argentina and Spain, game 1 in the semifinals at 3:30 Eastern. And that should be just a terrific game.
Absolutely. If you want to see the two best teams in the world as far as the way they play the game, because they've been together so long. Wake up and watch that game.
And we'll have NBA players on display, a number of them for Argentina.
Yep,
Pau Gasol, of course, the star from the Memphis Grizzlies, playing for Spain.
Total of 9 between the two teams. Look at that.
Wade missed it, and even the follow wouldn't go. But good hard work by Elton Brand, drawing the personal foul. And tonight on ESPN2, the double.
Ruth Riley, Swin Cash, Cheryl Ford.
Elton Brand with his first attempt in the game from the foul line.
Jim, we talked at halftime during Cooler Talk about the way this team has been put together. I don't know how you feel, but Brand and Bosh really fit international play with their versatility and their mobility.
Look at the offensive rebounds, and that's what we were just talking about a moment ago. With all of those misses from long range, the U.S. was able to capture the ball on the offensive backboard. Okalaja nearly turned it over.
It's a breakdown. Don't
Schultz looking for help. They've got plenty of time, 12 to shoot. And away from the play, we get a whistle.
What? Another clock problem at the World Championships?
It is out, no question about that. But it is working at the other end. The horn sounds as LeBron James comes on for the United States. Kirk Heinrich also in the lineup. And Germany with a long way to go and a short time to get there.
Well, Coach K has used that international clock. Only a 40-minute game in terms of rotating his players, keeping his 9 or 10-man rotation today very fresh.
Smiles breaking out now on that USA bench as Carmelo Anthony takes his seat. Antoine Jamison into the game, replacing him. And still the delay because of the clock issue. Dirk Nowitzki never got it going today. The U.S. did a good job on him defensively. He had 3 field goals, and he has scored 15 points altogether after averaging 24.5 in the tournament coming in. Mike Krzyzewski talking it over with the officials about why are you going to play this. There's Antoine Jamison, one of the North Carolina alum represented in this game.
Yep, we did not see Ed Cota, but we did see Mokhtar Njai. And of course, you throw in Vince Carter to that mix. That's a pretty good North Carolina team, and reason why they got to back-to-back Final Fours.
Can a Duke guy play with a North Carolina guy? Well, apparently so. Elton Brand has played well, and Shane Battier with their North Carolina brethren. We have a timeout taken with the United States up by 18. The U.S. with its 18-point lead, that is equal the largest.
That play gave Germany a new shot clock.
Nowitzki continuing to struggle, and a foul called on Heinrich.
Jim, I don't know how you feel, but I really believe now. I get a chance to see Dirk quite a bit in Dallas, living in Dallas. Actually jog by his house about 4 days a week, but he played 100.
Close and personal.
Yeah, he played 104 games, and he feels obligated because he's far and away the best German player to make sure he continues to represent his country. But he's got to be one tired guy.
You're right, and along that line, Fran, he has already said, though, that the 08 Olympics will be his last cycle that he plays. In fact, this team, as it now consists of this German team, that's probably going to be it for this group.
Well, you're right, and it's interesting. There's not a lot of German talent coming up the line like there is in Spain, France, Serbia, Croatia, Italy.
Closing in on the 3-minute mark. A strong defensive stand by the United States in the third. Slight improved shooting by the U.S. in the third. Heinrich getting a block on that one by Roller.
I love the fact that Coach K, for the first time that we remember in this tournament, went with Paul and Heinrich quite a bit of that third quarter. I really felt the defensive pressure on Germany's guards took its toll.
And LeBron James sticks the pull-up jumper. He's got 6 field goals today, 13 points in the game.
And if you're a Cavs fan, don't worry about LeBron. He'll go back to averaging 30 when the NBA season starts.
Schultz on the miss. Heinrich a tap to Wade. And with 2:20 left, the United States has things well in hand. It didn't look like that at the half. They were up by just 1. And they had been down by as many as 5. Because of that zone defense that you're looking at there. And they never did find their shooting eye, really, as LeBron James turns it over and up the court and knocked out of bounds by Heinrich. It belongs to Germany. When we arena, as you see, a pretty good crowd on hand, not a capacity crowd in a building that seats over 20,000, but on Friday morning Eastern time, you expect to see a full house for the semifinals. A block by the USA as they continue to screw it down defensively.
Remember this, Jim. Germany lost to Greece in the European Championship last year, and Greece routed them. So if there's a little bit of a measure of comparison, it'll be a difficult game on Friday.
And another miss from 3. But Antoine Jamison recovered to score.
I think Dirk Bowerman got all he could out of this German team today.
He did. I mean, a terrific first half. When they were only down by 1, they really did leave their hearts out on the court, as he suggested they do. And now with less than a minute left, as the U.S. is on its way to play that Greece team that you alluded to in the semifinals.
Well, an excellent team. I say team because they don't have a great player.
Howard. Dwight Howard with only his 2nd field goal, and the U.S. up by 22.
You, my friend, better practice those Greek pronunciations the next couple of days, because we're going to have some tongue twisters.
It's just all Greek to me. That's all I know.
Diamantidis and Tsatsaris and Papadopoulos.
Well, the U.S. will have to take a shot. Otherwise, they take it all the way down. There's a slight difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
Never bad to have a little adversity in a tournament like this, especially when you come away with a win.
And it's only fitting they should have a missed 3 be their final attempt of this game. Score the basket for Garrett, and there is your final. The United States by 20. But I'll tell you what, Dirk Nowitzki and the team from Germany, they were a lot tougher than that final score would indicate.
Excellent game plan by Dirk Bowerman. The tempo of the game. They held USA to 85 points. They just didn't have enough offense surrounding Dirk. And credit Mike Krzyzewski and Team USA. They did an outstanding job on one of the great players in the world, Dirk Nowitzki, today.
So there is your final 4, Argentina and Spain at 3:30 Eastern on Friday morning. Greece and the United States at 6:30 Eastern, and both games on ESPN2.